What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We on the grind and improve your mind. In this video, we're going to go over Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. We're doing law number 29. Let's get into it. Law number 29. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists of fortune that might reverse your hard work and give the glory to others. By planning to end, you will not be overwhelmed by the circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. So this could apply in many different ways. So a lot of people, they do things and they don't plan all the way to the end. They don't even plan at all, because a lot of people are very poor planners and they don't have good time management. You need to assume things are going to happen. You need to assume things are going to get to the end, and you need to know when you're going to make it. It's like in that SpongeBob meme when Plankton is like,
I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far.
So it's very important that when you're doing certain things or you're planning a journey, you're planning tasks, make sure you know what you're going to do when you achieve your goal. Make sure you know when you get to the end. This applies in many real-world situations.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very important for everyone to, when they have like a specific, especially when they have specific goals, because we talk about a lot of goal setting and stuff, but it's not even just setting the goals themselves, it's also figuring out how you are going to accomplish them and the steps that you need to take, the obstacles that you might face going through to accomplish that goal. All of that is very important, and not just trying to accomplish it, but also the journey of accomplishing it, and understanding that you need to plan everything out to make sure that the goal that you want to see at the end of that goal is what you get. And so just planning things out, understanding, the consequences of specific situations that you might get into in the middle of that and how you can overcome it to get to where you need to be.
When you are trying to lose weight and you plan out this whole diet thing, okay, in 90 days, I'm going to lose this amount of weight. And let's say 90 days goes by and you do lose the weight and you accomplish it. Now you don't know what you're going to do next. See, the ending is not really exactly prepared for. You don't know what you're going to do after. So a lot of the times, a lot of people will go back to eating carbs and all the sugar, and then they get fat again, and then they lose everything. So you need to be prepared always for the ending and have the ending in mind so you know what you're going to do when you have accomplished that goal. So that's a little real-life example of how you could use this sort of law and understand that you need to prepare yourself for everything and anything.
Yeah, so let's go into some history here. So in 1510, on a voyage from Haiti to Venezuela, Balboa snuck himself on a ship because he was poor and his goal was to find the mystical El Dorado in the new land. And so he snuck on the ship, and when the sailors and the leader of the ship found out that he did this, they were just going to throw him on some random island on their way to a colony in Venezuela. But when they found word that the colony was actually abandoned, Balboa took it upon himself in the thought on his feet to be like, you should set up a colony in Panama, which is more south, where he heard that El Dorado is Southern America pretty much. And so they go there, and they set up the colony, and the leader of the ship becomes the governor of the colony. But eventually Balboa campaigns against him, and a lot of these sailors actually go with him and actually agree that he should be the leader, and that leader ends up leaving in fear of his life, pretty much. And so eventually Spain, because all these people are under the jurisdiction of Spain brings a governor to Panama, to their colony, to now take over, because they don't agree that Balboa should be the governor, because the person who was going to be the leader kind of ran for their life. So he came and said, hey, I'm going to take over, but Balboa pretty much tells him, like, no, because I'm the leader, we're going to be fine, and he pretty much convinces that person to turn back. But what happens is when he turns back is that governor accidentally actually drowns and dies, and under Spanish law, Balboa technically murdered him, which is weird, which is crazy. And so now that Balboa knows this and knows that he's in trouble, he has to now think on his feet again to think about how he can be in the good graces, because his plan is to find El Dorado, to find the gold. And if he can find that gold and bring it to Spain, bring some of it to Spain, Spain will be forever grateful of him. And that's pretty much what he wants. So what he does is he sets off with a whole bunch of soldiers to go find the west coast, South America, because it's the whole new land. They don't know how big it is, so he wants to go find that and then find some gold to then bring back to Spain. So he does this, loses a lot of men in the process, but finds some and goes and sends it back, and pretty much to get Spain back in his good graces, which works. and he requests for a bigger army to go find El Dorado, which does happen, so he goes to go find it. But what happens is, while Balboa is becoming a hero and stuff, some other people that find out his plan, someone like Pizarro, who was a friend of Balboa's, meets him with his own army, but ends up being a trap and ends up capturing Balboa, taking him back to Spain, and pretty much killing him. And so all of Balboa's efforts on trying to find El Dorado, but not planning perfectly exactly how he should do it, just thinking on his feet every moment where he finds himself in a situation, got him killed. And where someone like you don't have to go through life just getting to a specific situation. You can figure out those specific situations ahead of time and then take accountability or take account in how you can overcome that specific obstacle.
That's right. You guys have to make sure you plan out your life to a certain degree to make sure you know where you're going to go after you hit the goal or milestone that you're trying to get to. It's very important in life to know where you're going and where you've been. That way you could take the strategic steps necessary to go beyond and go above what you've ever done. So it's a very important life skill, a very important thing to keep in the back of your head to know what you're doing. So guys, if you have any comments about this law, any interesting thoughts, please go ahead and put it in the comments. You also hit the like button if you like this content. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can donate to the Cash App, which supports our work, down in the link in the description. And with that said, we'll see you guys in the next video.